and welcome to a brand new episode of the Daily Debate. My name is Ahmed Nader, and tonight we're going to focus on the future of artificial intelligence, the AI here in Egypt, and of course the ways of implementing the digital transformation through it. And of course we'll be concentrating as well on how the citizens and the institutions alike will be benefiting from such an important factor for the future. And I'm honored to be having with me in the studio for tonight to be shedding more light on the future of artificial intelligence in the country and the globe as well is Professor Wael Badawy, the Member of Research Council on Communication and Information Technology at the Academy of Scientific Research and Technology, the ASRT, and the professor at the School of AI, the Egyptian University, and the Egyptian-Russian University as well. Thank you very much, Professor, for being with us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. We'll be starting straight away with the top story for today, which took place on Thursday, as on behalf of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry arrived in Uganda's capital, Kampala, heading the Egyptian delegation in the 19th round of the Non-Aligned Movement Summit. Upon his arrival, Shoukry held talks with the Ugandan counterpart, Gigi Odongo, during which he confirmed the Egyptian support to Uganda's presidency of the non-aligned countries. The top diplomat expressed his confidence in Ugandan side's wisdom and ability to tackle such a responsibility. For his part, the Ugandan minister said that his country was looking forward to the Egyptian support to Uganda, which aims to activate the crucial movement during this critical time, which witnesses growing regional and international challenges, on top of which is the Gaza aggression. He further thanked Shoukry for the Egyptian efforts in fields of cooperation with Uganda, including the infrastructure, energy and building cadres. In this regard, Minister Shoukry expressed the Egyptian keenness to continue tackling its role within the framework of distinguished historic ties binding the two nations, in addition to the desire to bolster the Ugandan people. The meeting focused on a number of regional issues, including the efforts to settle the crisis in Sudan, as well as the latest developments in Somalia. We will be heading to the first report of the Daily Debate for tonight, which will be focusing on the future of artificial intelligence here in the country and ways of moving forward the process of digital transformation. We have more details regarding such an important topic in the upcoming report. Stay tuned.
Egypt is in discussions on the second phase of the national strategy for artificial intelligence, according to announcement of the Minister of Communications and Information Technology. The second phase of the strategy aims to improve the National Artificial Intelligence Index by implementing several initiatives across 6 sectors: governance, environment, information infrastructure, data, human resources, and technology. The first phase of the strategy will end in May 2024, and it aims to use artificial intelligence technologies to support the achievement of Egypt's sustainable development goals. The duration of the second phase of the strategy is 3 years. Egypt recently moved up 7 spots in the global AI index issued by Tortoise Media. The second phase of the strategy adopted a number of priority initiatives within these axes, which are enhancing the scope of investment, raising the level of public awareness of artificial intelligence, attracting investments for data centers, enabling the management of the stages of the local data life cycle, developing capabilities in the field of artificial intelligence, and building a technological platform based on the development of big data technology. Earlier, a recent report from the Cabinet's Information and Decision Support Center, the IDSC, revealed that the artificial intelligence market in medical imaging reached $4 million in Egypt in 2022. The report projects significant growth at a compound annual rate of 36.9% from 2022 to 2030, expecting the market to hit $52 million.
Welcome back. You're still watching the Daily Debate, and I'm honored to be having with me in the studio for tonight Professor Wael Badawy. Thank you very much once again for being with us tonight. I would like to know more about the main fields of artificial intelligence in Egypt that could be used for the benefit of the state, the institutions, and the ordinary people.
The main application of artificial intelligence in Egypt, it varies between agriculture, medical, and financial services. We do have lots of effort around e-government and how to operate banks and different services using information technology, using computers, and artificial intelligence is a complement or part of these particular services. We have seen so many projects around agriculture and precise agriculture and how to get plants in the proper and right form quickly. Medical is another area where there are lots of initiatives have been taking place, in particularly with COVID, because COVID, we're trying to reduce the interaction between humans. So having like during COVID, I can say like almost everybody was doing a COVID research using images and trying to use artificial intelligence to give an early indicator to medical doctors. Globally, there are a big movement in the area of medical services using artificial intelligence.
Yes, you've mentioned, Professor, three main fields that Egypt is relying upon for the future, and of course, even under the tenure of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi for the past 9 or 10 years. One of them is agriculture, and we know that Egypt is one of the agricultural countries in the region, one of the countries around the world that is focusing throughout its history, even from ancient times, on agriculture. How can this be driving us into the future? The artificial intelligence, what can be changed for the farmers, for the people living with within these neighborhoods and areas and relying on, economically at least, on agriculture?
In agriculture, the application of artificial intelligence lays in different sectors. One of them, we call it Internet of Things, where we have what they call it IoT device. It senses the humidity, temperature, water requirement. There is another field or another application where we monitor the actual plant for maturity. So in between these two, we can grow different plants, we can grow different types of agriculture. There are projects funded by the Academy for Science and Technology where we foresee that prototypes of small farms where you can operate completely using computers to adjust water, adjust nutrition, adjust lighting. Outside Egypt, there are companies where, for medical plants, for example, and medicinal plants, which is very limited, very restricted access, they do grow the whole thing inside the building using the same technology. So there are lots of applications right now in this area, in irrigation to control water supplies, also nutrition and monitor the plants.
Yes, irrigation, a very important topic for the future of the country in so many fields. How can we be controlling the amount of water that the citizens and the institutions are using through artificial intelligence for the benefit of both sides?
One application is to monitor the actual plants and try to control the amount of water. And we do know from past history what kind of amount of water the plant will need to be mature as fast as possible. So
yes.
Also sensing lighting and humidity and temperature around the plant. This can control the amount of water. So these applications, we did these applications like maybe more than 10 years ago, but nobody focused on having a role to the market like what we see right now. Between sustainable development using solar panels with controlled water resources, in between these two, there are lots of achievement right now in the area of artificial intelligence or automation in particular.
Yes, artificial intelligence in the field of medicine as well here in the country. And I would like to know more about this field globally. How have things changed for the future through artificial intelligence to be making lives better all over the world, to be saving lives all over the globe, and more specifically, the techniques that can be adopted, that can be implemented here in Egypt for the upcoming few years?
In the medical field, we heard there was like iFit or a watch which can measure the temperature, the blood pressure. And we had one time in the news, someone will say that this device saved somebody a heart attack because the device gave a notification that he has to rest right now. And this for the iFit used to be like huge announcement. The whole concept is on artificial intelligence, we collect different parameters, we measure this parameter, and then the system will know what these parameters will indicate as healthy life. This, when we talk about monitoring FIFO or Vivo or humans.
Yes.
In the medical area, in diagnosing, but in particular, there are applications in almost all imaging, all type of radiologists. There was a conference in Geneva like a month ago, and they were actually showing how on X-ray in bone fractions, how you can enhance X-rays to be able to detect more than a broken bone. We have been doing lots of X-rays on chest for abnormality toward COVID or any other material. There are lots of applications. Wherever you have an image, you can apply a computer software to detect this particular abnormality, and this anomaly will come back to a doctor or to an expert and say, this is what we can expect to see. This is the area in diagnosing. In terms of personal medicine, there are lots of activities right now in pharmacy where they can induce a new kind of medications based on specific personal medicine. And this will happen in the complicated kind of diseases, not in the normal one, not in the cold,
yes,
but in very genetic related kind of diseases. There are at least 7 startup companies I do know of right now in this country where they do have a leapfrog applications in the area of taking an X-ray or taking an MRI and generate a report, a medical sound report for a doctor.
From just an MRI, as you mentioned, no explanation from the patient, no explanation from the doctor. I just see the report and I know what's happening or what happened and the solution for it.
Inside the report, you have the patient identification where you have all the history of the patient as well.
Yes.
So with the medical record and the new MRI or the new X-ray, the program or the system can generate a report giving some indication, and then a medical doctor will make a decision. We have been also seeing this in dentistry. Like in dentistry right now, people can design teeth, new teeth, and can take X-rays and expose them first to computers, and then the computer will generate a report about this particular teeth, and then the teeth will give some kind of treatment. However, the barrier is still that the doctor cannot learn artificial intelligence. They need to have an interface where they can upload the images, and then the image will give them the report. So we need
doctors from older generations or the doctors who are fresh graduates, because whoever is freshly graduated, they should be knowing what is happening in terms of technology and artificial intelligence, how to be using this for the benefit of the patient, for the benefit of his medical place at least.
My position is you need to give the doctor focus on treatment and diagnosing, not to get him into how to train the artificial intelligence and what kind of anomaly in training and how to enhance the training. So we lack the concept of having very simple interfaces where you can upload these images, the doctor will get information, and then when the doctor will disagree with the computer, somebody else has to fix this disagreement. is not the doctor. So
like an advisor.
like an advisor, yeah.
Yes.
So my position is you cannot let everybody know what's artificial intelligence, how to train the network, what's deep learning, and what kind of regularization or what kind of training you need to do, what kind of test. No, this is, we have to leave them to data scientists, artificial intelligence scientists, computer engineers, computer scientists. Doctors and everybody in the application side, they can understand as abstract level how the system function, like how do you know how to drive your car,
Yes.
but we don't get into fixing cars.
Yes.
And we don't get into building cars. What we have been seeing across of the whole nation right now, like everybody in all kind of disciplines, they want to get deep learning, free from the internet. They need to expose it to trained samples, and then they say, oh, why they have these mistakes? Because you are not equipped to do this, and this is not your job.
Yes. Of course, specialties are important from the dawn of history and up till now. This brings me to a very important question. Does this mean that we need a consultant, a technological consultant, an artificial intelligence consultant at every institution, at every important place, to be telling people how to be using the artificial intelligence equipment for the benefit of their professions?
The immediate answer is yes, and we need consultants with S at the end. So if you look at the labor market, they say artificial intelligence will change the labor marketplace, and there are new jobs will come.
Yes.
One of the new jobs will be data entry, or people who can play with the data to achieve the target error or the target accuracy in the system. So we train our students in our school how they can be a data scientist, so they can build from a set of data a good learning samples, so they can learn that they can give it to an AI system, so the AI can perform to specific accuracy. So there are jobs will be shown like data aggregator or data scientist who can play with the information and the data you have, so he can generate the accuracy you are looking for. This kind of jobs are right now available, and there are so many telecommunication companies are looking for graduates and students to go there and work for customer satisfaction using this kind of data. How to arrange it in Egypt, yeah.
So we have this service here in Egypt.
Yeah, yeah. We start to see it. I was in an event a couple of months ago, and I learned that the three of the large four carriers in Egypt, they do have data science centers, and they actually serving not only Egypt, they serve the actual company globally. 2 days ago, we also heard that 5G have been released the first license in Egypt.
Yes.
And allowing 5G is an enabler for AI, because the amount of data will be transmitted on 5G goes hand in hand with IoT or Internet of Things. It goes hand in hand with security from the AI perspective. Even managing the 5G systems itself, it's driven by artificial intelligence. So the enabler, I'm not sure there is a tie between the expansion of the mandate for the National Council for another 3 years and opening, allowing this license a day or two ago, you know. But this is where the government is going and where the country is going, and all of these are healthy steps because it enables our new generation to find real jobs in artificial intelligence, in data science, in cybersecurity, which is where everywhere is going right now.
So the development that we are having here in Egypt in terms of information technology could be developed into an enabler, as you mentioned, Professor, of the artificial intelligence. What does this mean for the people looking from the outside, the potential investors, seeing that we have all those developments in the fields of information technology and subsequently the artificial intelligence?
It creates an opportunity. So if I'm going to give you just a quick example.
Yes.
2003, I started somewhere a company where we build small units doing detection for hydrocarbon and different industrial applications. We could not connect them because we needed at that time what we call it right now.
2003, 21 years ago.
Yeah.
Of course, we don't have the technology that we have nowadays.
No, and the 5G enabling this kind of technology, because we try on the GPRS at that time, which is an earlier communication systems. We didn't have the bandwidth. So having 5G allows us to build an Internet of Things right away. The modules are very reasonably priced. The bandwidth is here for us to use. So having this 5G in particular, it enables lots of small companies, startup companies, to deploy real application. It will not be as what we see in publications, in research forum, just a discussion for luxury of discussion. So this is where we say the infrastructure. And I was in so many programs before, and we always talk about Egypt lacks the infrastructure.
Yes.
We don't have bandwidth. We don't have data centers. And 5G is one area where we can get bandwidth.
What are the other areas that we should be focusing on and improving in
A
for the
data
future?
center. A data centers which is allowed to be trained our network and is available for public. I know there are data centers right now for government and large corporations and organizations. But just for the small startup companies, a data centers to be able to train our network here. Remember that we have ethical and legal issues around this AI. And one of the prime issues is AI within the Egyptian jurisdiction. Having the standard applications running in different data centers around the globe, because we don't have a data center in the country, does not make it under the jurisdiction of our court and our laws. So having these centers and all the indications right now from the telecommunication ministry and the Ministry of Higher Education, that this is becoming on the map. And this is actually one of the priorities in the last announcement for the expansion of the national AI plan for 3 years.
Yes, Professor Wael Badawy, allow me to be going to another announcement made by the Egyptian government and the Egyptian cabinet to be announcing the second phase of the national strategy for the artificial intelligence. We'll be having more details regarding the second phase of it in the upcoming report, so stay tuned. Welcome back. You're still watching the Daily Debate, and I am honored to be having with me in the studio for tonight Professor Wael Badawy, the member of the Research Council on Communication and Information Technology at the ASRT and the professor at the School of Artificial Intelligence at the Egyptian-Russian University. Thank you very much once again for being with us, Professor. Of course, we were speaking about the fields that the artificial intelligence and the information technology could be taking over for the future here in the country. We spoke about irrigation, about the medical fields, about the healthcare in general, but you've mentioned as well the financial sector. How can this be changing? Because this is very important for the well-being of the citizens.
In financial services, one of the key aspects is encryption and security. So having the security is part of the artificial intelligence right now. So when we try to secure transactions, also monitoring transactions for fraud, all of this kind of activities is done right now by an AI system or a deep learning system. Having attacks and trying to monitor cyber attacks and increase cybersecurity, all of these are applications. As a matter of fact, the most risky issue right now is you have a cyber attack. Somebody will attack your systems. And as a human, we cannot cope with the speed of changes. So the only way is to have an AI system to monitor and then indicate where these attacks are. So also when you talk about ATM machines, and you can talk to an ATM and the ATM will talk to you back. This is an AI application. There is one major manufacturing of phones last week announced that they are laying off about 20,000 employees in California because the people working in the audio understanding on their devices, they will not be there. And there are two different approaches. One is this company will buy a better system because they cannot discontinue having interaction with voice, because they realize most likely that they don't have the best technology, and now there is a small company or a startup company somewhere, and we believe in few months there will be an announcement of a merger or acquisition from this particular companies. So this is a kind of application where in financial or ATM is actually used.
Yes, Professor, allow me once again to be going to the other report of the daily debate for tonight. As I mentioned, the second phase of the national strategy for the artificial intelligence, or the implementation of artificial intelligence, being spoken about and announced by the Egyptian cabinet. And we have more details regarding such a move in the upcoming reports, so stay tuned.
In the heart of Egypt's dynamic landscape, a quiet revolution is taking place, reshaping industries and driving innovation across the board. This transformation is being propelled by the remarkable capabilities of artificial intelligence, AI, a technology that has swiftly become the cornerstone of Egypt's journey into the digital era. With a growing emphasis on digitization and technological advancement, Egypt has recognized the potential of AI to transcend traditional barriers and bring about unprecedented growth. The government's vision to establish Egypt as a regional tech hub has paved the way for AI's integration into various sectors, from healthcare and finance to agriculture and manufacturing. AI-driven solutions are revolutionizing healthcare in Egypt, from diagnosing diseases through medical imaging analysis to personalized treatment plans. AI is optimizing patients' care and improving clinical outcomes. Telemedicine platforms are bridging gaps in access to healthcare services, especially in remote areas, while AI-powered predictive analytics help healthcare providers anticipate disease outbreaks and allocate resources efficiently. Moreover, in a country where agriculture is a vital sector, artificial intelligence is proving to be a game changer. Smart farming techniques fueled by AI are optimizing crop yields by analyzing data from sensors and drones to make informed decisions about irrigation, fertilization, and pest control. Egypt's goal of achieving self-sufficiency in food production is being bolstered by AI-driven insights that enhance productivity and resource management. Also, AI is reshaping the financial landscape in Egypt, making banking services more accessible and efficient. Chatbots provide instant customer support, while AI algorithms assess creditworthiness and manage risk. Automated investment platforms are democratizing access to financial markets, enabling individuals to make informed investment decisions. The manufacturing sector is embracing AI-driven automation to enhance production processes and product quality. Robots equipped with AI are performing intricate tasks, while predictive maintenance algorithms optimize equipment uptime. As Egypt seeks to enhance its industrial capabilities, AI is driving competitiveness and innovation. While AI is making strides in revolutionizing education and skill development in Egypt, personalized learning platforms use AI to adapt content to individual learning styles, fostering better engagement and understanding. AI-powered educational tools are closing learning gaps and enabling lifelong learning opportunities for all. Egypt's digital transformation journey is inextricably linked with the boundless potential of artificial intelligence. From healthcare and agriculture to finance and education, AI is forging a new path of innovation, efficiency, and progress. As Egypt harness the transformative power of AI, the nation's ability to solve complex challenges and embrace opportunities is being elevated, propelling the country towards a future of technological prowess and sustainable growth.
Welcome back. You're still watching the Daily Debate. Professor Wael Badawy, you've mentioned in the first part of the program or before the report that a lot of jobs will be taken over by artificial intelligence and the information technology for the future. What are the fields that could be affected negatively and positively for the future here in the country in this field?
Almost all fields will be impacted because we have to understand that artificial intelligence is a way of processing. So it's like a calculator. So basically, you automate process. So what we are advising now is individuals working in different careers, they have to equip themselves with how the new automation will be coming. So they have to train how to use, like for example, in like video editing or media editing.
Yes.
Now the new video editors will come with an AI toolbox. The funny part is the toolbox is more expensive as what we expected. However, this toolbox, so anyone who's doing montage or doing editing for videos, now he has to understand how to use this new toolbox. Similar activities happened in the financial services. The personal teller became an ATM machine. So we start now to go to old banks, the main branches of the bank. You see 20 tellers spot. All of them are closed except 2 or 3 because the rest are basically automated by a computer.
Yes.
Now, where the other teller went to the bank, they did not fire them. They allocate them in a different branches, different services where they can serve a human better. So we expect almost all jobs will be impacted by computers. However, when new generation will come with the knowledge how to use these computers, they will find a new job career. There are also new jobs will be coming, like the job of how to arrange data, how to be consultant for enhancing an AI box or an AI tool, how to manage data, how to collect data, how to interpret the output of an AI computer box.
Yes, and you've mentioned as well that we need reasonable prices when it comes to be dealing with artificial intelligence. As you mentioned, Professor, that in even editing, we could be having a toolbox made completely of artificial intelligence, but it could be more expensive than the ones that we have already. When can we be having reasonable prices for the services that we will be getting?
When we have reasonable prices, maybe in 3 to 5 years, but we have to understand that currently in the market there are a big competition between 2 different vendors. Companies which do sell computers, standalone computers, they want to embed the AI capability inside the computer processor. On the other hand, companies like on platforms, I don't want to mention names, but the companies on large platforms, they want to keep the AI on the platform, which means that you will send the voice, you will send the video to the cloud computing, the cloud will come back with the answer. Between these 2 debates, so if we look at the one who is building AI capabilities inside your own computer, the current initial prices of the computer expected between $3,000 to $10,000.
Yes.
Where you can go anywhere and buy a reasonable computer between $700 to $1,000 in North America.
Yes.
Which means that the AI coming to computers will increase the prices by 3 to 10 times. The same phenomena happened about 5 or 7 years ago when graphic coprocessor came part of the computer. The computer prices jumped to this level, and then over 2 to 3 years, 5 years, the prices will get down. So we anticipate as the initial offering of this AI, it will be fairly pricey because the amount of R&D, research and development happened behind it. Companies are doing this R&D, they do it for a return on investment. They are not doing it because they like to do it.
Yes.
It all has to make financial benefits and financial sense. But this is the current debate currently happening in the market, which is a warning for us because maybe our computers in a year or so will not have an AI processor in it, so we cannot use it. Companies doing operating system for computers right now, there are lots of discussions about how they will equip the computers locally with AI toolbox, or they will use, on the other hand, the cloud computing, which means you need to have a higher bandwidth of internet, which is not available in rural areas. So this kind of war, because I want to call it war, but this kind of announcement happened around last week of December and the current 2-3 weeks of January, where each one of these major vendors, they start to announce new chipsets, new service online, and we would like to see where this battle will land. And this all will be benefit the consumer, because consumer will benefit from this kind of competition.
Yes, Professor, you mentioned rural areas as well. More specifically here in the country, we have the initiative, the presidential initiative by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, Haya Karima, a decent life or a decent living, which is aiming to be getting an internet connection, a decent internet connection for the rural areas. Is this the importance of such a step made by the president and the political leadership?
This is actually a very visionary steps have been taken early on ahead of its own time, because connecting these rural areas, I spent my whole life outside Egypt. So we were in a country which is about 9 times Egypt's size. The population is less than 1/3 of Egypt. And the biggest advancement they had early on, in early 20s, that they install a high-speed internet access point on every library. And every library means community of 500 inhabitants. So building the infrastructure and the digital infrastructure will support these rural areas. They support connectivity, education, and health. So our President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has a vision, and it was the proper vision to take this country toward the new generation and how people can live in the future, not in the past.
But on the downside of it, you've mentioned, Professor, that there could be some cyber attacks against the information technology for the future. And of course, we have seen over the past month or so some rumors regarding a financial service provider that it was hacked and there were problems regarding it. But do you think that Egypt is well equipped when it comes to the cyber attacks in general and more specifically for the future?
Yes, we are very well equipped, and many of our students actually and our graduates are working remotely with companies in Europe supporting the cyber attack. So we do have the talent. We do have the talent, and the fact is this have been announced and the precautions have been taken early on. This fact means that we are in the game. We play in this game. We know. The missing part, maybe we need to have an insurance company or insurance body to insure the public, because the public fear may reduce the development. So having an insurance arm or somebody to give a warm, fuzzy feeling to the public that there is an insurance somewhere. But we are equipped. And by the way, in our university, we have a cybersecurity specialty. So one of the 4 disciplines we produce is cybersecurity. And it has a high demand from everybody. We are ready for this kind of movement.
Yes, in general here in the country, how would you assess the strategy that Egypt is implementing regarding artificial intelligence and the information technology for the benefit of both the institution and the citizens? And of course, taking in mind or putting in mind the security, the privacy issues.
I believe our generation here are more advanced than anywhere around the globe, because our young generation are in the digital domain on social media and so many. And we have been seeing initiatives from our students are beyond our imagination. So we are ahead of almost everybody in the MENA area, in the engaging public into the cybersecurity, into the AI, into the digitalization.
Yes, and hopefully you will be having more engagement for the future. Professor Wael Badawy, the member of Research Council on Communication and Information Technology at the Academy of Scientific Research and Technology, and the professor at the School of AI at the Egyptian Russian University. Thank you very much for being with us tonight.
Thank you. Thank you much.
Anytime. And this brings us to the end of the Daily Debate for tonight. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.